So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Going back to the 1980s, actually I shouldn't say that, 1978 U.S. Open, fighting grand champion. Who the heck was that? Who was the fighting grand champion at the U.S. Open in 1978? Who was it? You, James Scisco, grand champion, 1978, 9-foot trophy.
Oh my God! I had to fight. What's his name? He was Joe Corley's heavyweight. He was the kickboxer, and that guy he wanted to knock me out.
Jerry Rome.
Who? No, not Jerry Rome. God, it's on my newspaper clipping. What was his name? But what happened? I had to win the whole thing. I had to win all the champions in the division at that time in '78 were all Joe Corley's, and Joe Corley was sitting there, and he got up. He got mad when I was starting to beat all his guys, and he says, he says, Florida is the armpit of the South. And Tony Pelmore was the closest one to him. And Tony went to go hit him, man. It took like 9 guys to stop Tony from hitting him.
Hey, so check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, Grandmaster Jerry Fastly Fontenay talking to the legendary James Scisco. So check this out. I wanted to find out, because what happens is, this gentleman here is like a big brother to me. And when I call him, he picks up, and normally we end up talking quite a bit. And I say, you know what, man, even though I interviewed him a few years ago, I want to interview him again, because he's the one that exposed me to super patches and so on and so forth. And even though he was retired, he was going to come out and compete. And I'm still, antagonizing and motivating and doing whatever it takes, pulling his hair, well, his chin not, because I don't even got to, to make sure that he comes out. But Scisco, so it's 1978 and all that stuff is happening. That's the Scisco organization, right? The Southeast Karate Association, U.S. Open in Florida. At the time, I would think that the promoter, Ted Kresge or something like that, right?
Yep, Ted Kresge.
Yeah. Yep. So this was probably in St. Petersburg, give or take, in that area, right?
Well, it was in St. Pete. Yep.
So now the grand championship was a 9-foot trophy. Where the heck did you put that in the house? What do you do with that?
No way I could put it in the house. It was in a mall for a long time at my chiropractor's office.
Oh my gosh. All right, listen. So Scisco, let's go back. Okay. So first, what's your government given name and where you're from originally?
I'm James Edward Scisco. Governor's name. I was born in Chestertown, Maryland.
And your nickname is Golden
Fist.
That's because he used to have these. Yeah.
Golden Fist by the fighters, but I'm a motivator by the fitness.
Right. Oh no, there's definitely, you wore multiple hats. That's the reason you lost your hair. Yeah. I get it. I don't know if that's a myth, but we're gonna use it. What the heck, So, Scisco, you started training in what style of martial arts initially?
Oh my God, I started in Kung Fu first, White Crane Kung Fu, and as I got older, I knew that I felt like I needed to get some more powerful techniques, and so that's when I got into not Goju-Ryu right away. I didn't get into Goju. Oh, Budokan karate. Yeah.
Now was this
Korean? Korean Okinawan style?
Was this in Maryland?
No, this was in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yes.
Now I know there's a story you had said before one time that your life was threatened and you almost got murdered. I think in Pennsylvania or something like that.
At age 19, I got shot. 7 times, and they left me for dead, and they even had the sheet over my face. And when they got me to the hospital, my mom told them, says, "No, he's not dead. You better go check him again." And they went back and they checked me, and they caught a pulse, and they say, "He's alive. He's alive."
Wow.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Talk about a blessing.
I know, man. That's why I believe in God. You know, I went through my trials and tribulations of doing my crazy things in the past, but I always believed in God, and I knew.
Hey, wait, we're not talking about stripping yet. Come on, bro, you're going too fast.
Don't go there. You know, when I went to see Bill Wallace, for his birthday,
Right.
In Boynton Beach this last 2 months ago, one of the guys that showed up, he said, "You remember me?" I'm like, "No." He said, "You and I was in a bikini contest." Everybody looked, they go, "What?"
Yeah, but who won?
I won.
See, so it doesn't matter what kind of contest. A champion's a champion. You still want to win, right?
That's right.
Oh, man. Hey, guys, listen, again, this is the type of conversation that we normally have all over the place, you know. She's giving thumbs up. Oh,
yeah, you won.
Oh, we have a picture of the bikini contest. Hey, we found the picture.
Oh, my God. I didn't see
I'm
that.
joking.
Oh, don't do that, Rita. Oh, my God.
So, you know, as we speak, and again, I'm laughing to make the most out of the day, but she had 2 seizures today. And 3 of them yesterday, so it's been really dangerous. I want you to at least lay down over there, please. God forbid you have another one now. I know you feel good presently, but I don't want to have a problem, please. Yesterday I couldn't go teach because, you know, she's the most important person, literally, in my life right now. Amen. That's why I made some changes. Amen. But yeah, so again, most people don't realize your martial arts career came in the middle of other things. Yeah. Such as the NFL. Right. So let's go into a little time. Like, you're 19 years old, you know, you get shot 7 times. 50 Cent don't got shit on you. Because literally, you're a blessed man. Here you are.
I've talked to 50 Cent about it, too. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing, too. A lot of people don't realize that you, as a bodyguard, has worked with so many people. You on the set of Miami Vice, you bringing the Miami Vice team, you know, that a lot of people don't realize you're the one that had the connections. This is when you was Golden. He called himself Golden Fist, but Golden Fist had these big boxing gloves.
When I was with Miami Vice, they called my TV name was Scisco the Man. So when they sent my check to me every 90 days, your residual, you can get a residual.
The residual, yeah, yep.
Yeah, that was my name.
Cisco the Man.
Cisco the Man. Yeah, yep.
All right, just to get a timeline here. So you was born in Maryland. Before you're 19 years old, where was your interest in either sports and or martial arts?
I was always, I don't care what sport you wanted to do, I was always the top in the sport. You want to play baseball, I could pitch, I could shortstop, I could be out in left field and throw the ball all the way home and strike and get people out. You know, I had an arm, man, but when I was pitching, oh man, I was a left-hander, and all I had was a fastball. You just couldn't hit it.
Wow.
You couldn't hit the fastball, man. You know, and run track. Shucks, you could not run track. And they said I was the first black cross country runner that won the state championship.
Wow.
Because, they say, well, if you're going to run cross country, you don't have to get out there and run fast. I'm like, look, I want to get there and get it done.
Knock it out of the park.
I was sitting and drinking a drink and stuff, waiting for the guy coming in second place.
So a champion was born. You was born to be a champion.
I could play volleyball. I loved volleyball. You know. You can't beat me. You can. Let's go to the net. You want to go to the net? Let's go ahead. I'll get you up in the air, man. I'm gonna take that ball. You think you're gonna hit it?
Hey, but wait. Hold on a second. Who the heck am I talking to? Because James Scisco is such a laid-back, quiet, passive-aggressive maniac. That's what the hell he is.
When it comes to competing, that's when I come alive. other than that, I'll sit back, and I just don't say nothing to nobody. But when you tell me it's time to compete, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
You know.
You've always been soft-spoken, motivational, and the fly in the war.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
For sure.
nah, I know this guy. I know how to pull his, I know how to push his buttons to get him going.
Yeah. I just knew when I met you, I'm like, man, this guy here, I gotta meet him. This young man here, I gotta meet him. You should have been a comedian of the martial arts, man, because everywhere I used to meet you, you were the star of the whole thing. Everybody's like, hey, Fontanez showed up.
Well, it's a love-hate relationship, right? It's a love-hate relationship because some people, they just hate the fact that I have this energy, but they love that I have it. So it's like,
yeah.
but yeah, and that's the thing that, I consider you a big brother in the martial arts, no question about it. If not that, maybe even uncle, to be honest with you, because I just turned 60 and you're what, 71 already, I think, 72. 72
Yeah.
years young, but
Yeah.
Going back again, so now you was old an athlete. Now at age 19, are you training in martial arts then?
I was in the martial arts, but I wasn't like really heavy because I was playing football. I took football, and that's when I made it with the Boston Patriots. I really made it with the Chicago Bears.
Whoa! What are you talking about? You mean you was playing what would be in a local league, or you was playing in? Excuse me?
NFL.
The NFL, baby, just so you guys know, this is way before Andre Tippett. This is way before even Ernest the Cat Miller. So, yeah.
Yep. I was a punt returner for the Boston Patriots. Yep. And once I get that ball, it's all over. And that's how I got hurt. I almost got to the end zone. I was about 10 yards from the end zone, and this 300-pounder speared me right in my spine. And when he speared me, I went flying. And then I got hit, tackled. I didn't get tackled, but I got hit 2 or 3 times before I got into the end zone. But I made it, and I got the touchdown. All my guys came and jumped on me, and they was proud of me and everything. But when I went to get up, they tried to get me up 3 times. And each time they got me up, I'd flop right back down. And what happened, I lost feelings from hip down.
Wow.
I had no feelings. So I was in a wheelchair for 11 months.
Holy
To come to Florida. I left because they told me, 2 doctors up there told me I'd never walk again. I'm like, you're crazy. That's not me. That's when I packed up and went to Florida.
So let's backtrack here. So what age were you when this happened?
I was 21.
So this is just a matter of months after you got shot 7 times.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
It's
Oh man, that wasn't nothing, man. That wasn't nothing. That's why they call. That's why I wear this thing on my neck. It's a Superman emblem, But it's really my last name. I used it as Scisco S, But everybody saw it and they said Scisco. They thought it was Superman. I said, y'all call me whatever you want, but they said, well, everything that happened to you, when in my story, man, from birth, the minute my mother had me, a lady took me out of the hospital for her baby. And I'm home with this woman.
Whoa. So literally they made a mistake and grabbed the wrong child?
Yes. I was at this lady's house for a week, and she called back to the hospital and said, look, my baby is not accepting my milk. What's going on? And they said, well, bring him back, And she brought him back. By the time she brought me back to the hospital, that's when they found out that they had gave her the wrong baby.
Guys, I'm talking to Grandmaster, the legendary James Scisco. Not sure what title you use. Do you use Professor? What's the title that you use, sir? I know you don't care. I know you don't care about that. In terms of your martial arts stat, Do you use
You know,
Professor? What do you use? Sensei, Sifu?
I have a 10th degree black belt, but you know, what some people call me Hanshi, some call me, you know, Soki. Yeah, I'm like, that stuff don't bother me. Well, you just don't call me too late to eat.
Yeah, and again, that's a common denominator. You know, I interviewed Mike Stone, and Mike Stone says, "Don't offend me by calling me by one of those titles." You know, my name is Mike, and that's the name that my mother gave me, my father said. But in terms of, and again, we these titles, I believe, are not for us. It's for the people who respect us. So I get it. You know, when people give me titles, you know.
I understand that. You know, some people call me Soki, some still call me Hansi. I don't care.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the whole thing. That for years, and let me see if I can turn it around this way again. For years, I realized that guys, this is not your traditional way to do what would be a podcast, or I should say an interview. But I figured, you know what, this will be a different thing. I mean, if we set it up like we did last time when we go onto Zoom, that'd be cool. But right now, I'm broadcasting live through Facebook while we're speaking to James Scisco, Golden Fist himself, and literally going down memory lane. This guy has had multiple lives, and we're not even finished. We're just starting. So how about this? Let's talk about, I'm gonna break what would be the time frame. You retired from competition. And then last year, you start seeing these videos of some crazy Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx that you may know for a while. And he knows you when you had hair. And literally, you wanted to come out and play. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, I went to the U.S. Open. I didn't go to compete. I went to just, you know, help out and everything. But when I got there, you know, I started getting it. You know what? I might as well do it. Now I'm 71 now, and I got in there, and I'm doing good. You know, and one guy like 80 some years old. I didn't want to fight this guy, man. I mean, I did what everybody knew that I was doing everything to carry the guy. And I had people come up afterwards, shaking my hand, say, "Man, I like the way you treated that gentleman. You didn't treat him like, you know, he was scum or old or whatever."
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second. So you just added something that I didn't realize. So what I was trying to get at is you hadn't competed in years, and I started promoting this tournament, and you was going to come to the Bronx. So you're saying, and that was in June. Yeah. And so what you're saying is that in the interim, while you was at the at the U.S. Open promoting Super Patch, here we go, Super Patch, right?
Yeah.
You
July 1st.
So you literally
July 1st to July 4th. Yeah.
Man, I didn't know that. I'm over here thinking because I remember what you was complaining, not complaining, what you were saying is that, man, you making me come out of retirement.
Yeah.
So you actually came out and competed? Wait a second. I motivated the motivator? What the heck's that about?
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, you did. Amen, man. You know, it's just that's the way life is, and that's the way we all need to be. I want to be. I look at you and I like, man, I want to be like him, man, because you can just take anything and make a story out of it. You can make fun out of something. See, I'm more laid back until you get me going, then look out. But you just come right in. Everybody say, "Oh, there's Fontanez. Here we go. Look out. You don't know what's going to happen today."
It's funny because there was a time where I didn't compete for 5 years. I was awake for 3 days. I competed in the tournament. It was at the Twin Tower Classic, and I see my big brother there, James Scisco, in the middle of a match, and he's freaking injured. And the idiot was going to continue. What did I do?
You were there, man. You were there. You said, "If you want to do this, you could do it." I'm like, "Oh," said, "Okay." You know, I'm like, "Oh, I can't let him down."
Yeah, but what happened, I think it might have been your knee. So what I ended up doing that day is that I grabbed you and I said,
"Yep, you did."
He is done. And I bowed you down and I took you away because I know if I would have let you do it, you would have ended up getting hurt. And I'm like, no way. I'm not going to let that happen to him.
You did. You did. Yep. I appreciate that.
And people probably thinking, the audacity of this freaking guy. How dare he make a decision for somebody else? But I know that we don't care.
Yeah.
And you wasn't going to quit.
No.
And you didn't quit.
I wasn't gonna do it.
But I said,
I wasn't gonna do it.
we'll be back. And maybe not today, but we'll be back. And I think that's important, guys, because realistically, a lot of times people, and now someone would say, that's none of your business. How dare you go inside there? And I said, no, it is my freaking business, okay? This is family. This is my freaking martial arts brother, and there's no way in life I'm going to have him make a bad decision, and I'm going to bear witness to it. That's not right.
Right.
He would have done the same thing for me.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
You know, so that's important to me, the camaraderie of martial arts. And it's sad because, and I tell people, you could be jealous from a distance, but when they're envious right near you, that's when it hurts, because these are the people you care about. But the opposite is true. There's opportunities to show real deal, unconditional love. And I love you, brother, so I'm going to turn around and just, ignore that you're in a situation that you can't make the best decision, and for me to not to participate in that. I wouldn't be happy with that. But anyway, getting back to the funky stuff. So here you go. It's 1970s. You're now in Florida. How the hell did you get down to Florida? This is after you got injured, you said. So you're about 22, 23 years old.
Yeah. Got down there and I started working for Delray Fitness Center and Health and Fitness Center. And all I was doing is signing people up to join the gym. And then this chiropractor came in. He had his business in the mall, and he says, "I want to join the gym." I said, "Okay." So he was asking me stories about why I'm in the wheelchair and stuff like that. And
Wait. So you're selling gym memberships while being in a wheelchair? This is after playing for the NFL and getting injured, which is after being shot 7 times and left for dead.
Yep. And so he went back to his office after I told him what happened to me and everything. And he came back. He says, "Look, I don't want your money. I don't want you to pay me nothing." He said, "But I feel that I can help you. And I need you to come to my office at least 2 times a day for the next, let's say, I think he said 7 weeks in a row. And if I don't make any headway with you," he says, "you don't owe me nothing anyway, but I just want you to know it was a pleasure working with you, but he says, I really believe I can help you." And sure enough, that's what I did. I went and he's used the TENS unit. Remember the TENS unit?
No. What was that?
The TENS unit is like frequencies. They hook you up and put you, and then they turn this thing on. It turns all the way up to 10. Now, if they turn that thing all the way up to 10, you should be feeling something. When he first did it, I didn't feel nothing. For the first week, I couldn't feel nothing. First 2 weeks, I start feeling little tingles, but then it'd go away. 3rd week, I start feeling a little bit more. 4th week, a little bit more. 6th week, I start feeling big feelings in my hips again. So I knew then that I was going to walk again. I said, yeah, I knew already I was going to walk. But this guy really made it happen with this TENS unit. And
wow.
We used the TENS unit for about another month. And then after that, he says, "Okay, we're done with that. Because now you got feelings all the way. I had all feelings all the way to my toes." So he says, "Now it's time for you to start walking again." And that's when it really hit me. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to, but I've said, me now being in this chair so long is so, I don't understand. I can't even recognize getting up and walking right now. But he had that track. He had that track with the 2 bars, and he left me alone. He says, "I'm not even going to help you." He says, "I want you today go from that beginning there all the way to that end over there." And he says, "Then you can leave and go home." The next time, he said, I went back, He said, now I want you to go and come back. I want you to go all the way over there, and then I'll come all the way back. And, you know, I held on to the bars as I was walking, bum, 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 and until I was able, every once in a while, the third week, you know, I stopped using one hand, you know, and I'm still walking, you know. About 8 weeks, I didn't need the bars no more. I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking the streets. I used to walk every morning before I come to work. I used to walk to this bridge and come back. Matter of fact, that's where I took the band that I had around my waist that's supposed to have been holding me up and everything. I took that and threw it over in the bridge. I'm like, I'm throwing that thing away. It's gone. I don't need it no more.
Wow. So that was the second miracle. You go from being shot, left for dead, to being a paraplegic in a wheelchair while still doing sales of all things, and then having an angel come who literally was able to help you and become a testimonial for the possibility of miracles.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So now, what did you do with that? Yes.
So once I got to walking again, that's when he told me, he says, look, I think what you need to do now is get in. He knew a little bit about my past, but not a lot. He said, but I think you need to get into martial arts because that's going to help you get your whole body back together, you know. And he says, I know you dance. I knew you was a dancer and all that stuff. He said, but I think what's going to happen here is you really need to get the martial arts because the martial arts is going to really get you
Wait,
back.
hold on a second. You slipped that in too. You slipped it too quick. What do you mean dancer? What you was doing? Ballet? Huh?
I danced, Mike. Oh my God, man! My mother said I was dancing before I was walking.
Another common denominator. So as a dancer, wait.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Listen, you're taking away from my book. But anyway, when I was going to school, because I was raised with a single mom, and I loved my mother to death, but she was an alcoholic. So she cared more about the alcohol than she did me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I know she loved me. She loved me. I know she did. But because she was an addict, she was more into the alcohol than me. There was no food in the refrigerator, but she had her liquor, she had her beer, she had her, stuff in the refrigerator, ice, and that's it. So early in the morning, I would get up and with my cardboard and my beatbox, and I'd go down on the corner and dance, make money, so I have money to go to school with to eat. When school was over, I'd go back down on the corner, dance again, so I get some money for groceries to go take home to eat.
Why? And what age we're talking here?
We're talking from elementary all the way to middle school.
So you're talking about 6, 7 years old?
Yeah. 6, 7, yeah.
And you had to be a man. You had to either be a man or starve.
When they were 6 or 7, my name was called the Bebopper. Remember back in the day, they used to call the dancers, the tap dancers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The sharp, the Bebopper. That was my name back then, the Bebopper. People come all over watch me dance. I would dance.
I said, so let me ask you, who was your inspiration for dancing? Was it Sammy Davis Jr.? Was it Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire? Was it Bojangles? Was it James Brown, or a combination?
It was between Sammy Davis Jr. and James Brown.
Nice combination.
I did everything that James Brown could do and better.
Awesome.
I loved him, man. I loved him. But I said, you know what? I can do the split better than you. I can do the slide better than you. I made sure I did everything better than him.
So after that, when you're in middle school now, what is your mother still an alcoholic? Are you still dancing? How are you eating?
Well, when I got 13 years old, I got taken away from my mother. And thank God my uncle came in and uh, and took me with him.
Wow.
So he was a state trooper, and he was a crew leader. He had a camp where he had people working, and they lived on the camp, and they would go out and work and pick vegetables and stuff like that. And he had trucks and buses and everything. And I used to have to. I felt like I was the slave at the time because I turned in cooking and cleaning and everything before I even went to school.
So let me ask you, is this when you moved
And
to
when I
Pennsylvania or you still in Maryland?
It's just it was crazy, man.
Cisco, was this in Pennsylvania or were you in Maryland now?
No, I'm still in Pennsylvania. I'm in Pennsylvania. I left Maryland as a young child. Yeah.
Okay, so even before you got to grade school, you already had left Maryland and you were in Pennsylvania. What city in Pennsylvania?
I tell you when I left. Pennsylvania. I left Maryland in 1973. You know what? 63. You know what that year was?
That was the year that they killed. No, wait a second. Is that what they killed Kennedy? I'm not sure.
Yep.
Yep.
That was it. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So this is some hard times, speaking civil rights, and here you are going from Maryland, which is not too far from D.C., of course, and then you up in Pennsylvania. What part of Pennsylvania?
Allentown. It was Allentown, and then when my uncle came and got me from Allentown, we went to New Tripoli, Pennsylvania. That's where I went to school, Northwestern. Hello. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you feel like a slave because you have to do your duties before you go to school. But this time at least you have food because you don't have no food before that. You don't have to go dance for your food money.
Early in the mornings, I had to get up. I had to fix breakfast and lunch. I had to pack lunches and everything before I went to school. I had to clean up. I had to clean before I left. I had to get out there and take care of the animals. I had to take care of that, you know.
Yeah, to earn your keep. Yeah, well, that's living on the farm. That's living on the farm, but there was benefits to it. What were the benefits or lessons from that?
It taught me everything that I need to do. That not ever depend on a woman for anything at all, and that he wanted me to make sure that I knew how to do everything that I needed to do as a man.
Struggle to live.
But at the same time, his wife was always, I was like a slave, because if there was anything went wrong, she would put it on me.
Oh, of course. You're the outcast. You was the guinea pig.
And I'd get a beating for it or whatever, or get punished for it. I thought he didn't even like me, man. I said, why did you take me from my mother? You don't even like me. You treat me like a slave, and and so he had me going hunting with him. I didn't want to hunt. I never hunt. I'm like, I don't want to kill no animals and stuff. So he gave me
the rifle.
The rifle. Yeah. And he says, you're gonna shoot a rabbit today, or I'm gonna shoot you. So when he told me that he's gonna shoot me, I shot him in the foot.
Oh!
I shot my own uncle in the foot. And that's when all my people, my family said, this boy's crazy. He's crazy. Now I got a whole nother name. Everybody thought I was crazy. Nobody wanted to don't mess with him, boy. That boy will shoot you.
Yeah, I try to tell people that you could be big, small, ugly, strong, whatever, but you don't want to mess with crazy. Crazy is,
Crazy people.
Wow. So now what happens? You shoot him. Does he press charges on you? Does he kick you out? What has to happen?
No, he knew he had did wrong. He, at the time that he was in the hospital and they were taking care of him and everything, by the time he got out, he knew that he had messed up. He says, I shouldn't have said that. He says, why did you shoot me? I says, Uncle Odell, you told me if I didn't shoot the rabbit, that you were going to shoot me. And the only thing I knew to keep you from shooting me, I'd shoot you. So I figure if I shot you in the foot, you couldn't run me down.
Oh my gosh. And what age were you? Were you like 13, 14?
I was I was 14 at that time because I had already been with him a year.
Oh my gosh. So what, did the
Yeah.
relationship change after that? Did they
So,
treat you any worse
so
or
when I
better?
was 16, so when I got 16 years old, he had a 49 Chevy, black. That thing was so beautiful. Everybody used to come by and just sit and watch this car. I mean, you could eat off the motor. It was so clean, you know. He gave me that car for my 16th birthday.
Whoa.
And you know
Whoa.
how much a 49 Chevy would cost today?
Wow. All right,
Mint condition.
hold on one second. Hold on one second. Guys, we're speaking to Grandmaster James Scisco, my brother from another mother than Marsh Schwartz, and this guy's telling some stories and information that people just cannot fathom. And I feel blessed that he even knows my name. And I just want to let you guys know that this is part of a series of what I consider the legends that haven't been able to speak. And a lot of time, I mean, we've interviewed them in the past, but this time we're taking it to a whole other level. But take it away.
Yeah, but you know, so yeah, he gave me that car, and I had it for 2 weeks.
Whoa! What? Okay, and then what?
They stole it from me.
Did you ever find out who it was? Or you had an idea?
No, we had an idea, but we didn't know exactly who, so we couldn't go after anybody. But they stole it, and they were so jealous of. I know it's got the guys from school. I think it's the guys from school because I used to ride up in that car in school. I mean, everybody would just go crazy when that car come on school campus, you know. And so they stole it, and they ran it over a real deep cliff. I mean, it was
Oh,
deep.
get out of here. So they stole it to destroy it.
They couldn't pull the car out of it. They didn't have nothing that they could pull that long to pull the car back out.
Wow. Talk about jealousy
Yeah.
and envy. We've always had to deal
Yeah.
with that in one capacity or another.
So then that messed me up, man. That messed me up right there. And that's when I started going back in the streets again. And I didn't want to go to school. You know, I still played my sports and stuff like that, but I didn't want to do my homework and stuff like that. So what they did was, because I was such a great athlete, they had someone always doing my homework for me.
Oh, wow.
All I had to do is show up and play ball.
Because they made money from that because the school looks good and the reputation and the more.
Yep.
Wow.
See, you can't do that these days. You can't do that these days. But yeah.
Okay, so now I'm exhausted. So we haven't even got you to 19. So now you're now about 14, 15, 16 years old, and they destroyed your car. You're pissed off. Now you're gonna hit now. So how do you rebel?
Well, I didn't get over it. I really changed as a young man that I was. I wasn't the young man that I was. I turned to be hatred, but I didn't like go around trying to beat people up and stuff like that. Only if you touch me or you mess with someone
That you cared
one
about.
of my friends,
Right.
families, or something like that. Don't mess with my. Don't be a bully. Don't be a bully. I was never a bully, but man, I used to pick people up and throw them in garbage cans and everything, man. It's crazy stuff that I used to do. I shot a guy with a bow and arrow in the eye.
Oh my God! Lucky he lived.
I remember we played Cowboys and Indians, and I was an Indian, and this guy says, "Don't you?" He says, I told him, I says, "Look, I know where you at." I said, "Stop." I said, "Stop looking around that tree, or I'm going to shoot you." He said, "You can't shoot me." And he kept peeping his head around the tree. And I messed around and shot him right in the eye.
Oh my God. So
He went to screaming.
yeah.
Everybody said, you shot him in the eye. I ran home, man. I hid under the bed.
Now, how old were you during this time?
That was 416. That was like that was, you know what? I think that was the same year, 13. I think that was the year 13.
Oh, wow.
Because yeah.
So let me ask
My
you,
uncle-
when you mention cowboys and Indians, because I remember we used to play cops and robbers, and when people started shooting at me, you know, I used to block with my iron fist because I saw 5 fingers of death, and I knew that they couldn't hit me because I had the iron fist, you know. So, you know, that's how crazy I was. But in your case, what's your heritage? Do you have any native, what would be so-called Americans in your bloodline? Because you look like, to me, like, I mean, you could be my cousin, to be honest with you.
Well, my mother was from Trinidad.
Oh, okay.
My granddad was Korean.
Oh, holy smokes. Wow. What a combination.
I know, man. That really messed my whole family up. So that's why all my kids, they don't look black. You know, they like, man, they so
Exotic.
different. You know, yeah. They're beautiful guys and girls, man. All my kids are beautiful. You know, handsome. The boys are handsome. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I think Korean and Trinidadian that adds up to Puerto Rican. You know.
Yep.
But it's interesting. Okay, so now you go into this heartache from what would be earning this car, and they destroy it, and you're still an athlete. How did that lead to? Did you get a chance to graduate from high school?
So no. So what I did was I went and hung out with my. Uncle, my other uncle. So I was with my Uncle Odell, but I went and hung out with my what was Uncle Ned? Oh yeah, he was a pianist, man. This guy could. Now my Uncle Odell, other than being a cop during the day and being a camp leader, you know, he also played country western music at night in bars. So he would pick me up from school and take me to work with him, to take me to just bars with him. So when he started playing, I'm dancing to his music while he's playing his music.
Wow.
And people just throwing money at my feet, man.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome. Yeah. And so then he would take me home, and then he'd go back and finish his show and come back later on that night. And then when he dropped me off, that means now I got to get out, I got to go clean, I got to go cook, I got to do this, you know. I just felt like I was a slave, man, you know.
But they taught you now, know that, like, you know, my mother, you know, she didn't want me to be at the mercy of a woman either. So I know how to cook and clean and do the best of the things. So, you know, even though it seems like it's heartache, but it's the best.
And I used to sew my own leisure suits. I used to sell them. That's how I used to make extra money. I used to sell leisure suits. They tell me what size they want and what color they want. I go get the material. I have that thing done in like 4 or 5 hours.
Who the heck showed you how to do that?
My mother taught, not my mother, but my uncle, my auntie, she used to come over and she used to sew a lot. So she taught me how to sew.
Wow. And that's a trade that's been lost. Most people don't even realize that. You know, Tommy Chen, who happens to be a Chinese, Tommy Chen is a Chinese Jamaican, just so you know, which is it's almost like a Trinidadian Korean. You know, that's the closest thing there, right? Asian Islander, you know. Literally, he used to sew his uniforms the night before a tournament to compete. The same thing with Robert Sugar Crossan, did the same thing. They used to make karate uniforms. Yeah, and the leisure suit could have been like a rec suit too. If you think about it, that was different. That's something like Jack LaLanne was probably wearing something like a leisure suit too.
See the reason what it got me to making those leisure suits, because I built my body up. I was, man, I had 20 some inch thighs.
Who was your motivation for that? Who was your superhero when it came to lifting weights?
Well, he wasn't a superhero at the time, but it was a bodybuilder that I liked at the time. And I said, well, I don't want to be a bodybuilder, but I just want to be fit. And I want to have good calves. Most black guys don't have good calves. They got small calves, but they got their calves are really high.
Yeah, for jumping,
That means
speed.
you get the elite and stuff like that, high and stuff like that. But see, I wanted bigger thighs, so I trained a certain way to make sure I built my calves up. Because I used to look at the white guy's calves. I'm like, man, why his calves look so good? And they hardly do anything, and he's got good calves. So I said, I'm gonna build mine up, man. I'm gonna build it up, and so that's what I did. I made sure I worked on my calves, worked on my thighs, worked on my hamstrings, and then my upper back, and that's when I did get into bodybuilding, and I won best abs. I used to walk around with a big T-shirt on, and when the contest started, I take that T-shirt off, and people go, "Holy Moses!" So I would win best calves, not best calves. I used to win best back and best abs. Yeah.
Wow.
And as you saw, if I show you a picture of my kickboxing title, you see the thighs, man. I didn't care about people kicking me because you couldn't hurt my legs. But when I kick you back, you better look out.
Wow. So we still don't got. We're talking about high school. So how do you get out of high school?
Okay, so I left early. I left early and came down to Florida to see this girl, because she left. She was up there. We went to school together, but then her parents moved her to Florida, and so she always would tell me, "Come see me, come see me, come see me." So I went down to, and when I went down to see her, I didn't go back until.
All right. So hold on 1 second. Only because I want to be consistent with the timeline. This is after you got shot?
No, I wasn't shot then.
Okay, so this is before, and then you went back at some point to Pennsylvania. Okay.
Like 17, 18. I wasn't
Gotcha.
shot yet.
Gotcha.
But I came to Florida, and I hung out with her for a while, because I got mad after my car got stolen and everything. I just said, forget it. I didn't want to be around that place no more, or nothing. That's when I came to Florida, and I hung out with her for about a year and a half, and then. But
where were you living? Where were you living then?
I was living in Delray Beach.
So you came down. You came down for a booty call and stayed for a year and a half. And now, what kind of employment do you have? How you living in Delray Beach with what kind of money?
I became what they call a shirt tail foreman. I worked on construction sites, and what I would do is follow the foreman around, and I would pick up, damaged lumber, metals that wasn't metal. Poles and stuff like that didn't need to be there and stuff like that, and I had a place to take it, and I'd make sure I pile it up, and then I would go through if it was apartments or industrial buildings, I would sweep out, once they finished the building and everything that had to be cleaned up, I would sweep out all the rooms and stuff like that, And yeah, so that's what I did. And then I got to the point where became the bucket man. You know what the bucket man is?
No, I would think that sounds like you bring them water.
Not the water.
They spit.
You're walking the walls and you're pouring concrete. When that bucket comes over
Oh
with the
wow!
concrete in it, the crane, you're
Wow!
right there. And they got a scalpel and you on the scalpel and you pouring that concrete to raise to build the bricks. Yep. The
Wow!
wall.
So how long did you
Yeah.
last doing that?
I did that for about a year and a half.
So now we're getting close to 19, and at
Yep.
that
That's when I
point,
went back up north.
you
That's
went.
when I went back up north.
And how and what happened that dreadful day or night?
Okay, so that's when I went back. I went back and I got drafted to go play football with the Patriots, well, not the Patriots, the Chicago Bears.
Wow! And this is because of
So I was,
your speed in high school. Were you playing
yeah, because
football
my
there, or was
speed
it track?
yeah, and so I
What
was
what
there for
what?
2 weeks.
One
I
second.
was,
Were you playing high school football, or was it track?
oh yeah, I did it all. I played high school. I did it all. I played basketball. I played soccer. I played hockey. I did it all. And you know, a lot of games I couldn't play every game because sometimes some of the other sports ran over into that sport. So I couldn't play every sport for every game. But the most important ones, they made sure I was there.
Wow! So you like Jim Thorpe doing all the
Yeah,
different
man.
sports way before.
Yep.
Wow!
When I
Before
started
Bo
playing
Jackson.
football, they called me the bungling man, and I didn't understand what the heck is a bungling man. What is a bungling man? They said that's a guy that can do it all, man. Whatever you put him to do, he comes out on top all the time.
All right, so you have
Okay.
you go to a tryout and you're a punt returner. Is
Yeah,
that what it was? Was it an open tryout?
yeah. So I played 5 games. I was in 5 games before I got hurt.
Oh my gosh! And
Yeah,
that was after you got shot.
that was after I got shot.
So
Yeah.
so let's get back to that dreaded day. You're in Pennsylvania, and how the heck are you in a situation where that happens?
Well, when I came back, because I was working construction down in Florida, I came back and tried to do the same thing up there. I went and started doing construction to make some money while I'm coming back, and that's so these my buddies that I was working with. They said, "Man, it was close to my birthday," and they said, "Look, man, we need to take you out for your birthday." I'm a loner. I don't hang out with people and stuff like that. And they kept after me. Finally, I broke down and said, oh, okay, all right. And I went with them. And they took me to a place that they shouldn't have. It was a area where it was bad, man. And so they was doing a lot of stuff in the back, because you had to go through this alley to get in the back. And so when you get all the way in the back, they had different rooms. They had the crap room where you shoot crap. Then there was another room for cards. They play cards. And then they had another area that people just love to go and hang out in the back and do whatever they wanted to do. And these guys took me there.
Wow!
And so when I went, I said, look, I got to go up to the store. I'll be back. Because I didn't drink. I didn't drink and do stuff. So I went up to get a soda drink. So I went up to get a soda drink. And while I'm in there, it was like a general store. So I'm walking around because I love general stores, Because you find all kinds of good stuff in a general store. It's not like a regular store. So I'm walking around in there drinking my soda after I paid for it and everything. Then when I got ready to leave, I walk out, and you have to walk downstairs to get back to the hall to go through. They met me when I was coming out the door, and it was about 8 Puerto Ricans. And the shortest one of them came up to me. He met me while I was up on top of the stairs, and he says, were you with those guys back there? And I said, yeah, but I think they had saw me anyway with them. And so I couldn't lie about it. And I said, yeah. They goes, well, we chased them off. They were cheating. And so you got to leave too. I was like, look, I ain't did nothing. So I'm not worried about leaving or whatever. And when I said that, he went to try to haul off and slap me. And I took that knee-high orange bottle upside his head. And I jumped over the balcony. And when I jumped over the balcony, I was in the parking lot at that time. And by that time, they had me surrounded. 2 guys were on the back of a pickup truck. Another guy had a machete. There's other 2 guys were trying to come after me. One had a knife, and so I went to run back into the alley. Well, as soon as I went to do that, this guy came around the corner with a sawed-off shotgun. And I tell you no lie, man, I was about 20 feet. I was about 20 feet from him. When that gun went off, I just saw the bullets. I saw the bullets leave the gun. And all I knew was it hit the ground. And when I hit the ground, I rolled. I rolled under. There was a big truck right there. I rolled under the truck and came up around the other side. And when the gun shot, it missed me, but it hit one of the guys on the back of the truck.
Oh.
There was 2 guys on the back of the truck. And so I rolled over on the other side. By the time I rolled over on the other side, there was 2 guys on that side waiting for me. And I just got up and I said, you know what? This is a life and death situation. And the little bit of martial arts that I knew, I learned how to snatch ears off and stuff like that from my White Crane Kung Fu instructor. He used to tell me all that stuff, and he showed me how to do it. And so I snatched one guy's ear off. I hit the other guy in the throat and kicked him in the groin. And by that time, the other guys then came from the other side. One had a machete, and I got a scar on my arm where he cut me, and then I got shot. I got shot on my arm as well, and then I got shot in my face 2 times.
Whoa!
And then that's why I'm wearing hair right now, because I'm trying to cover up the scars. When people see my scars, they go, "Man, what happened?" And I just don't want to answer. I don't want to be going back into it. So I just wear this to just cover it up. And then I got shot in the chest twice. I got shot in the leg 2 times. So I just knew that it was a life and death situation. So every time somebody got close to me, I knew anything I do, it was a life and death situation. No panty in it. This ain't no point karate. No, there wasn't nothing like that. This is street.
The real world.
It's the real world, man. And so by the time the cops got there, all I remembered that I was on my knees. I was on my knees. And bodies was all laid out all over the place. That's all I knew. Bodies was laid out all over the place. And I was there on my knees. They picked me up, put me in the car. And they didn't take me to jail right away. They took me to a building. And they brought me into this building. And they tried to find out what had happened. And I didn't really know. I'm in a whole nother state of mind. I'm in a state of mind of survival. So I'm not here to answer no questions, no nothing. Don't ask me nothing, If you want to fight, let's go ahead. But if you're going to kill me, kill me. but I'm not answering anything. So that's when they said, we're not going to get anything from him here, so let's go ahead and take him downtown and put him in overnight cell, and we'll take him.
Aren't you bleeding at this point? I mean, you just got shot and you got stabbed, and what the hell? You're not in the hospital?
So I knew that I needed to slow down my heart rate so I wouldn't bleed to death. So I knew that from my kung fu training.
Right.
I had learned all that stuff from that. And so by the time they got me downtown, they put me in a cell. And it's in one of those cells where when they open the door and put you in the cell, the floor is not flat. It starts up and then it works down like a funnel. That way, if you gotta do number 1 or number 2, you can go ahead and do it, and everything's gonna roll down all the way down.
Gotcha.
And they had a little vent. So if you're gonna do number 2, open the vent. If you're gonna do just pee, then you didn't have to do nothing because it'll just go right through the vent. But so anyway, that's where they put me in. They put me in a cell like that. So I'm laying there, just trying to stay calm as I could. And I had on all black. So
this is why you're bleeding.
They thought the blood was from
Okay.
from the other guys or whatever. They didn't think it was from me. So they threw another guy in my cell with me that had been bumping his head, taking his head and bumping it against the cells. It was crazy, man. The guy just went crazy. So they brought him downstairs and threw him in the same cell with me, and they threw him right on me. They didn't see me. They just threw him in the cell, and he landed on top of me. And when he landed on top of me, he went to swinging and stuff. I had to take and put that guy in a chokehold and choke him out. So when they came to pick me up the next morning, they saw that the guy was laying in front of me, and I had my arm around his neck. So they grabbed him, got him off me, and they said, "Hey, this guy's been shot, man. There's blood everywhere." And that's when they took me to the hospital.
You could have bled to death.
Yeah.
So at the hospital, what happens?
At the hospital, what?
What happens at the hospital? Because at this point,
Once I recovered and they did everything, they couldn't even remove. I still got the bullets in my leg. They said, if we take the bullets out of your leg, you might have a bad limp, and you might not be able to use your limbs, some of your limbs. So we felt that we leave them in there. So
yeah, it wasn't no major artery, so you're fine.
It's going to be a tough procedure to keep you from being, limp.
Yeah, to be able to function. So literally, you didn't get hit in a major artery, so you was fine.
Yeah, just leave them there. So I still got two bullets in my leg, and yeah, they took care of everything else, and then they came in and talked to me and asked me what happened. I told them what happened. Well, at that time, I was training some of the sheriffs and the police department at the time as well. Well, they said they found out who I was. They go, "Man, this guy didn't do nothing wrong, man. It probably was just self-defense, And the people that was hiding and ducking and looking, when they finally gave their statement, they told them, says, this guy was just defending himself. He wasn't trying to, hurt nobody or whatever, but if they got close to him, he had to take them out. And that's what they saw, So finally, I was in jail for about four weeks before they finally let me go.
Oh, wow.
And they said, we found out that, you didn't do anything, and you're just protecting yourself. And he said, how did you learn how to do all that stuff? And I just told him, I said, well, I've learned a little Tai Chi and stuff like this here. But I says, I was always a street fighter. I've been a street fighter since I was little. You know, I always had to fight my way out of school and down the corner, around the corner. You know, there was thugs, you know, group, you know, gangs. You know, I got with this certain gang, and this was when I was still with my mom. You know, she was, I would, back in the day, you know, we had to dance or battle to win your own. So you have your own theater, your own stores, your own blocks, stuff like that, you know. And so, and the way we used to do it, we used to do dance battles. So they always kept me in the cut. They said, "No, we don't want you to come out unless we really need you." So whenever they needed me, when it came to the dancing part, that's when they called me, and I'd come out and I'd tear them up, you know. But yeah, man, that's where I learned how to break dance and all that stuff, you know.
Wow.
When I met you, and I saw that you were a break dancer as well. I'm like, man, that's even more so that we are connected.
It's crazy when you think about. I mean, this is even. So now you get shot, you go to jail for a little while. They take you out. You got bullets in your leg, and then you go for a tryout for freaking football.
Yeah, yep.
You make it.
It didn't slow me down. It didn't slow me down.
Yeah, but then you make it, and you played for 5 professional games in the NFL until your body gets destroyed.
It wasn't NFL then because it was still
AFL.
Yeah, but yeah. So it wasn't. It didn't. New England didn't become New England Patriots, and I think 72. I think 71 or 72. I think.
So what were they called again?
Well, it was Boston Patriots first, and then it turned into New England Patriots.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's the same team that years after as the New England Patriots, Andre Tippett ended up becoming from Newark, New Jersey, and then competing in tournaments, karate too at the same time. My boy Matty Malisi was the trainer of the New England Patriots. Holy smokes. So listen, I wanted to do an interview, but I guess that, you know, it has to be more like, this is your autobiography. Are you writing one as we speak, or is that something you want to do in the future?
I'm trying to do it as best I can, but I don't have a laptop or anything. So I was doing a lot of stuff on my phone. I go on what they call it, Chat
ChatGPT. Yep.
That could be it. I think, but the problem that I have is I'll be talking, and next thing I know, I get a phone call, and I forget to save. Now I got to go all the way back, start all over again. I say, you know what? I'm just gonna wait until I get, you know, the right stuff that I need, and that way I'll know that I can keep up with everything. You know. Well, but I got a guy, man, says, look, I'll help you produce it. I'll help you finance it. I'll help you do whatever. You need to get this book out there. I'm like, okay. And it says you need to write 2. You need to do one on your martial arts and do one on your bio. I'm like, okay.
Well, how about if I tell you that I'm in the middle of doing my autobiography, and I am using technology also to make it happen, because otherwise it's impossible. And nobody's going to do it for you. You got to do it yourself.
Right, and nobody's going to see. I almost had it finished one time, and I gave it to this ghostwriter. Well, I gave it to this lady. Everybody told me she was good. I gave that woman my stuff, man. She called me 3 months later. She made the movie sound like it was a voodoo movie.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, no. So I had to get everything back from her and start all over. And so then I got out of motivation to do it because I was all set up. I was so set up about it. So,
well, I'll tell you this much. I'm literally in the process of doing it myself, and this will help you, because this here, I'll put this in the written form for you after for the outline, so at least you have a hard copy of that too. You know, I'll send it to you But I'm using technology. Like right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm interviewing you through Facebook Live while we're talking through Messenger. And the reason I'm doing that is because that makes it easier than what we did last time when we went through the Zoom, and then I turned around and
Right.
so my goal is just to get the information out. So on this note, let me just ask you a few questions, only
Yeah.
because after you in Florida and they got you miraculously walking again, and you're probably at this point in your early 20s, what gets you involved at the next phase of what would be once you start
Well,
walking again?
the first instructor, after I started walking again, and the first instructor that I got to go with, he was a Budokan instructor, and that was the Korean Okinawa Karate Association, and his instructor was up in Seattle, Washington, and he was training with Bruce Lee. I didn't know that, and but anyway, I got to working out with him, and he was the type of guy we don't do tournaments. He said, "I'll train you, and but we don't do tournaments." And I said, "Well, I need to get in shape first. I really just need to get my body back in shape and everything." So I stayed with him for like 3 or 4 years, and then that's when I got good. I got all my limbs, everything working again, and I started teaching. I wasn't even a black belt then. I was a purple belt. I got up to a purple belt. I had over 80 some students as a purple belt. I wasn't even a black belt. They said, "Man, you're so good, man. We just want to learn what you do, how you do it." And so I had all of them, and that's how when I got ready to go to this tournament, I met Herbie Thompson in Miami, and he came up. I told him, I said, "Look, I got all these students." I said, "But I'm not a black belt yet." And he said, well, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I like how you fight and everything." Because I went with him. I went to a tournament. The first instructor I had, he went with me to this tournament. I said, "I want to see how I do in this tournament." So I went to this big tournament, in Florida, and went up north. And Mike Foster, I know you know who Mike Foster is.
Yes, sir.
He was like the godfather of Florida in karate. Mike Foster. If you look him up, you'll see. Well, big guy, tall. Well, Herbie Thompson, Sensei Herbie Thompson wasn't no big. Well, I think he's about 5. I don't think he's no more than 5'6", 5'7", maybe, if he's 5'7". And
But that guy was a big muscle.
yeah, he had elbows. Oh my God, boy, he beat us up with them elbows, boy. But anyway, they had a big fight that night, and he fought Mike Foster. He beat Mike Foster. But when he beat Mike Foster, I said, "That's it. That's the man I want to train with." I said, "If I'm going to do this, I want to go and I want to train with somebody that I know is good as what I want to do." And he said, and so I told the instructor that I had at the time, which is he's still my instructor. I still talk to him every day, and matter of fact, I brought him down to Miami and meet Herbie, and he joined with me. He says, "You know what?" He says, "I'm going to join with you." So he's a part of Nishi too now. But anyway, when I joined them, he brought about 3 carloads of his students up to Delray Beach, and it was a halftime show, football. We did a karate demonstration at a football game, the Delray Atlantic football team. And so I did the thing where I breathe, and it takes 5 people to pick me up.
Gotcha. You bring center gravity down, become one with the universe, the earth, and they can't move you.
So that was my Tai Chi, you know.
Right.
But anyway, so it was a big deal at that time, you know, that I did that. And but that's when we united. So I had my 80-some students. He brought up like 3 carloads of students, but he had a lot of them back in Miami. All of them couldn't come. But anyway, so we joined hands, and I became Nishigo Giroux with him. And that's where I ran Rennie and Baby Doll and the girls, Evelyn, what was her name? Evelyn and Cynthia, and there was another girl. But anyway, and that's how I got started with Nishigo Giroux.
So how do you meet Tony Palmer? Rest in peace to our brother.
I met Tony. Now I'm a brown belt. I wasn't a black belt yet. I was a brown belt, and Tony was a brown belt. He wasn't a black belt yet, but he was with Harold Roth. You remember Harold Roth, the long-haired,
I do know the
crazy
name.
boy?
Yes.
Yeah, he died recently. I think he's been dead now for about 1.5 years or 2.
Wow.
He died in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, Diamond. Is that Diamond?
Diamond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him. Plus, I'm the one that brought full contact karate to Miami. I fought him for the title.
Wow, he was a stuntman. He was a stuntman in a few movies too. I remember that.
Yeah, he did some stuff with Rocky and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. I think it was in the one of those how you call it, First Blood or Rambo movies.
Yeah, one of them. And they were doing the stick fighting.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, he was a crazy guy. But Tony was with him, and then after Tony and I fought in a couple of tournaments, you know, we weren't friends at first, but we kept meeting up, and we always had to fight each other. Boom, 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 boom. And sometimes he'd win, sometimes I'd win, sometimes he'd win, sometimes I would lose. But we got to the point where we became friends. He said, "Man," he says, "You're a great guy, man." He says, I can't be mad with you. I don't want to be angry with you. I want to be your friend." He says, and I said, I felt the same way, you know.
And just to be honest, that wasn't normal for Tony, because Tony was no joke. He was a straight shooter and very limited. If he liked you, you knew it. But he didn't like you, you knew it too.
That's right. That's the reason why I like you and him, because you guys are the same way. If you like somebody, okay. If you don't, well, let's get it on.
Yeah. Well, you know, Tony did the biggest compliment I ever had to me from Tony was twofold. There's a photo of him and Timeout the Last Dragon and I, and you could tell we having a good time. But there's also a time where I was teaching a martial arts seminar at Newton James School. Newton James in Miami, and this gentleman was a member of Scisco with Sean William Oliver, who I think was the best pound-for-pound fighter from New York for me. And by surprise, the person who came to visit was Tony Palmer, and I couldn't believe it. He came to visit me. I was like, "Oh my gosh," you know. Oh my God, I missed him, and I really feel horrible during the pandemic. I didn't get a chance to see him before he transcended, man. And we were talking for UMAN. We were talking about the tournament circuit and how to get things. Basically, what I'm doing now, we talked about that a few times, right? Years ago, like 10 years ago.
Yep. Him and I, we fought all over the world together, man. We some of the places we went to, we had to do back to back, and get out of there. We had to fight our way out because some people just didn't like us, man. Didn't like us winning, you know, beating their guys. They didn't like it, you know. We went in some countries that they would put us in a room and say, "Look, we will pay you a certain amount of money to take a fall."
Right, to lose. Right.
Yeah. And we looked at each other and, "I'm sorry, we don't do that."
He mentioned that. There was a country, it was Guatemala or Mexico, some crazy place that.
Yeah. Yep. So that's why our history goes way beyond.
Hey, wait a minute! But you also did the bare knuckle fighting too.
Oh, I did the bare knuckle. This guy in California, man, oh my God. Him and I used to go underground in Tampa all the time. And then I lost contact with him And then finally, he calls me. He says, "Hey, you don't remember me, but we did the bare knuckle together, blah, blah, blah." He says, "Now I created the bare knuckle bodyguard Hall of Fame." I says, "Okay." He says, "I want to bring you over and I want you to bodyguard me and help bodyguard the show while I put the show on." I'm like, "Okay." And that's when I went out in California 2 years ago to the Bodyguard Hall of Fame and bare knuckle, and he gave me a award for the bodyguard. But now this year he's going to do Detroit. He's going to go to Detroit. He says, "I need you. I want you to come back again." He said, "I'll take care of everything. Don't worry
At
about it."
age 72, you're still in demand as a bodyguard, of all things. I mean, this is a person who at age 19 was facing death, not counting the other things before that as a child, being able to even eat, surviving to age. So I'm sure you remember that getting to the age 30 was like impossible when we were younger. We would never think we were going to live that long. Was that the case with you too?
I thought we were going to get that. I never thought I'd live that long.
Yeah, that's a common. That's why I just had a birthday party, and when I became 20, some people say 60. I'll take 30, 32, but I'm like, wait a second. I literally cannot believe I made it to 30, let alone 60. So if that's the case, then I want to live 40 more at least, and I'm going to fight every day to make it at least 40 more until I change my mind. I might make it 60, but the idea is that I want to do whatever I can from the inside and outside. So I got the super patch on the outside, and I got the peptides, and I have, nitric oxide and collagen for the inside.
Well, I feel that if I'm going to feel like this at 72, I know that at 85 years old, I can do a lot.
Right, but this is my point. That's why the UMAN OG League is important. And that's why when I started talking about this, and you called me, and we were talking, you got me, you said, I'm going to come out of retirement. And you couldn't make it, of course, because you can't be in two places at once. But, man, I would love to have you February 28th because I started the 70 and above division to make sure I give a separate grand championship. And I thought about there's two golden. There's golden feet and golden fist. And my man, Golden Feet, which we met, literally is, fourth stage cancer. And my man is a survivor also. And he became a fan of yours. He read your story in terms of what had happened. He's the one that mentioned to me about the child, grabbing the wrong child and all the challenges he's been through. He said, "This guy's a real champion." I said, "Yeah, man, he's a real champion, but so are you." He's done a lot of stuff too. But, oh my gosh.
I'm still waiting. When I had my gym in Tampa here, I trained The Rock. He made it. He started in my gym when his dad brought him to my gym.
Yeah, that was Rocky Johnson.
Yeah. He brought him. Rocky and I, we were so close, man. I went to all of Rock's, Dwight's birthdays from the time he was like 13 years old on up, man. I went to all his birthdays at his house and stuff. And Rocky and I, man, we traveled all over the place. I even did a couple of matches with him in the islands. As a double team. We were partners. We were tag
team partners. Oh my gosh! So wait. So listen, let's go back. So now you're starting to compete in karate tournaments. 1978, you win that grand championship. At the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Well, I won everything in Florida. Oh my God, I won everything in Florida, and nobody was gonna touch me. I was the #1 point karate fighter. This is 7 years in a row.
Wow, and close behind you, I would think, or side by side, because in '79, Tony Palmer won the U.S. Open also.
Tony, yeah.
And Tony wasn't really that big, but he had these broad shoulders that he could pick up that leg and kick people in the face.
Yeah, and every time he would win a kickboxing type fight, he would cut a flip. People go, "How the heck that big old man cut a flip?" just like Benny the Jet did.
Yeah, Benny the Jet Akitas. So, and then in kickboxing, which is your most memorable kickboxing fight? If you had to mention one or two of them.
Well, when my instructor fought, you know, this is the thing, man, that drives me crazy. People have to get ready for a kickboxing fight these days. We fought kickboxing matches every week.
Right.
My instructor, Herbie, had us, he would take us around to schools and shows and everything. We kickbox every week, you know, have a match every week. Wasn't no get ready for 3 months or 6 months.
Right. No
Get
training
ready.
camp. You was always ready.
Always ready, man. Got to be always ready, you know. And a lot of people would think that they're going to beat me because they go, oh, well, he's not ready because he's not in shape. Okay, all right. I always stayed in shape, and that's what I always tell people. If you're going to be a fighter, always stay in shape. Don't get out of shape talking about, well, I need, 3 months to 6 months to get in shape. No. If you're ready to go now, let's go. Put up the money, let's go. And that's the way I used to look at things,
So again, the most memorable fights. What would you think in terms of your personal ones?
My one of my memorable ones was in 1985. I fought what was his name? The boxer. Well, I can't think of his name right now. In '85, I fought Ewing Grant. I fought Ewing Grant in his hometown, and because I just came off of fighting who I fought in '85. Oh, we fought. Matter of fact, Tony and I was on the same card in '85. I think that's when he fought. Was it Big John Jackson?
Oh
Or
wow!
what's that boy that's living now? That boy that's living now. There's another real tall guy.
Well, Big John Jackson was from Indiana, and that is the guy that I believe Tony beat for the U.S. title.
Yeah, I think so. I fought on the same card, and but that was one of my most notable ones. And then I fought Steve Shepard, but Steve Shepard.
Rest in peace to Steve Shepard.
Remember Steve Shepard?
Yeah, Steve Shepard had that front kick, and he had the boxing and the front kick. And he used to do West Palm Beach. Steve Shepard and I did a business together because he invented Ring Star sneakers, and between him and I, we did the deal with Macho products.
Yeah. Well, I had to fight Steve Shepard, and we fought in Fort Lauderdale, and he didn't really want to fight me. He said, Scisco, he said, we're the names, big names in the Palm Beach County, And I really didn't want to fight you. And I said, I didn't want to fight you either, but everybody wanted to see us fight. So we said, look, we're not going to fight for the title, but let's just go ahead and give them a 5-round, a good fight. I'm like, yeah, let's go do it, man. And that's what we did in Fort Lauderdale. But in the 4th round, I dislocated my shoulder.
Ooh.
Yeah, I dislocated my shoulder, man, and I couldn't compete anymore. That hurted me because we were doing so good. He said, man, that was a great fight. I'm like, no, until that happened.
And then
what happened was,
yeah,
he threw a spinning heel kick, and it hit right behind my shoulder blade. Yeah, and I think I was punching out as he was doing it, and it just went
overextended. Yeah, but then so
everybody heard it pop.
But the following year, 1986, you got the Miami Vice team, and you guys come to New York. I won the middleweight division, fought against Reggie Toussaint, who actually hit me with a damn axe. Couldn't believe it. The guy hit me with a freaking axe. Jesus Christ! I think he's only, he got me, and I beat him. I beat Gus Lugo. I also beat Mafia Holloway. And I'm not sure the other guy. He was one of Manny Ray's senior older guy. I'm not sure if his name was, the last name was Sanchez or Gomez, because there was 2 guys with the same name.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So and then I also saw Bart Vale. Big Bart Vale was part of your guys' team.
Yeah. So when we came to New York, when we got to the park, there was a space there. But there was a car that was in our way, and it's like, man, why did that guy park like that? So Bart says, "Let me out." I said, "What?" He said, "Let me out." I'm like, "Okay, let him out." He goes and get back up behind that car. He picks that car up. the back of it and moves it over.
Wow.
And that's my thing. I'll never forget about Bart fell. All of us, we couldn't believe that Bart fell. That boy was so strong. Oh my God! But yeah, when we came to New York, that was that thing that we'd never forget when Bart did that.
and that's crazy because I was over at it was called John Jay was the university, and that's where we had the elimination on that Friday, and then whoever won would fight in the nighttime finals on Saturdays
Right.
at the Madison Square Garden Forum.
Right? You know in the Madison. You know who else was there during the show?
Oh,
Why my mind just blanked?
I don't remember. You took my party in the main arena. I'm sure it had to be a big star during the main arena.
There was it wasn't Ice-T. It wasn't Ice-T. Oh, wow, I can't believe. But he was in another part. He was doing a show. It wasn't. It wasn't. Oh God, I'll think of it.
It'll come back to us. Yeah.
Let me get my mind off it, and then it'll come to me. So let's talk about something else.
So
come to me soon.
Just for, a lot of people didn't realize that literally that was the last time when I won on that Friday the middleweight division. I'm not sure if you remember that, but I fought Reggie Tucson, like I said, in the middleweight, and
So you were featherweight and he was middleweight?
No. This is I wasn't middleweight at the time. This is the middleweight division where I won first place there. Again, I fought Gus Lugo. I fought, Mafia Holloway, Reggie Tucson, and either Sanchez or Gomez. They had the same first name. I always go blank on the guy's name, but
Yeah, I was a light heavyweight at that time. I was in the light heavyweight division.
okay.
I'm trying to think I had to fight somebody.
I know Tony Palmore. Actually, I think he fought Nasty Anderson that day in the heavyweight division.
Bart and Tony went in heavyweight.
Yeah. There's some clips. I remember Bart used to throw a front kick. He threw front kicks to the face, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But that was the last time that my teeth were straight. Because the next day is when I got my jaw broken against Billy. And I wish I had the whole match because in reality the score was tied, but I was really beating him. To tie, now I never said this publicly, but to be tied with Billy Blanks really mean that I was up by a bunch of points because there's no way in life they would just give points. That favoritism was real, and I know that you guys didn't have that. You had to earn every single one of your points because you didn't have the benefit of having.
Because everything was about the Budweiser team at that time. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, what I have to say is that literally your life has been phenomenal. You're still here. And I know you fought, I think you even fought Don the Dragon Wilson, if I'm correct.
I fought Don 5 times. I'm the only guy that fought him 5 times. Because we became really good friends. And he says, I love the way you fight. And, he says, you got kicks, but you got good hands, and you're in great shape, And he says, you just put on a good show, and that's why we used to. So I fought him in Bahamas. I fought him in his hometown. Where was that? By the space. Where was it? By the Space Center.
Yeah. I'm going blank right now, but I remember. He's originally from Connecticut.
Yeah, I fought him there.
He's originally from Connecticut. You know that? He's from Connecticut, and he relocated down, him and his brother Jim or James. And they used to promote their own fights over there.
Yeah. Then I fought him in Hong Kong.
Was that Cocoa Beach?
Yeah, Cocoa Beach. Yeah, I fought him in Cocoa Beach. I fought him in Singapore.
Whoa, wait, what are you talking about? So you fought in Hong Kong, Singapore, the Bahamas?
Yeah, fought Don over there, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Man.
How did you get involved with Miami Vice, the show itself?
What happened, my all right, let me think a minute here, because I got to put it. My jiu-jitsu Aikido Aikido instructor was Tom Monahan. And Tom Monahan was in charge of all the stunt fighting in Southeast United States. So any movies that was done from Florida, Texas, all the southern states or whatever, he was in charge. So he trained all his students to do stunts as well. So that's how I got to do Miami Vice, 21 Jump Street, Bill Stryker, Smoking the Bandit, Funhouse, Angel City, Dogs of War, Cops of 8th Street. Man, I was, so other than dancing, and doing my classes and stuff. And see, I don't know if you remember, but I had one of the largest schools in the United States. I had a gym in Delray, 1,900 square feet. 1,900. Am I saying that right?
No, 19,000.
19,000. Yeah, 19,000 square feet. I had a clothing store. I had my dance studio. I had my martial arts. I had
You own more, huh? Multi-purpose more.
I had the gym, and then we lived upstairs. I had 3 of my other instructors. We lived upstairs.
Shaolin Temple.
That was all. I wanted to do that one more time. I said, you know what? If I get another place, that's what I'm gonna do. If we get it big enough where I can have everything right there. But I never did. I never did make it. But anyway, so Tim McCann had the closest one that I had. He had a big one, and he had soccer in his. He had soccer league going on.
You know what's funny? Tim McCann was one of my clients for the rec suits, and to this very day, there's this red, black, and white one that he still has as his profile picture. Him and his wife, I believe.
Remember that? I didn't know he got them from you, though.
Oh no, that number one. Listen, if it doesn't have the number one, then it isn't. And that one has a number one. Actually, you showed me one earlier that really kind of freaking made me feel warm and fuzzy, because you have the Stars and Stripe one that I created.
I still like the material on that. I want to get another gi just like that, man. That's not the red, white, and blue flag.
Let's take a look at that. Show that one again, because I know you walked by and I saw it, and earlier you showed it to me. And this is Stars and Stripe was the uniform back in the days, but this one at least will stay the same color forever.
Let me turn it.
No, you don't have to turn it. You can just lift it, put it in front of it. Yeah, that's good. There you go. Stars and Stripe top. Yeah, baby. It looks new.
Yep. I still wear it, man. There's pants right there.
Wow. And you know what? It's funny because we used to have the KI version or the Century version, and I turned around and I made that. Do you know that in a matter of months, Century turned around and started making the Stars and Stripe again? They didn't do it for too long, but they did it because they saw what I did.
What did the AD stand for?
Adult.
Oh, okay, adult.
Yeah,
okay.
Because we have from children to adults.
Yeah. It's still in great shape, man. I wear it every once in a while. I don't try to wear it too often, though, because I preserve my stuff like that.
Yeah, but let me give you a 411. That thing will look the same 30, 40, 50 years from now, because the fabric that we use is literally timeless. That's where people try to copy, but they don't know how to invest in the quality of the fabric. So I manufactured that in Pakistan. That's when I did a partnership deal with a company called Max. M-A-C-K, right. Marshall City Supplies. And they actually have a place called Full Contact, it's called, in Miami. So it's their second store. But brother, let me tell you something. I appreciate you so much. There's no way in life that we can get all the information in one interview, because as we go, we just keep adding more and more to this thing. But I do want to ask you just two more questions, if you don't mind, before I let you go with your day. So it's 2026 presently, and you still have some what I would consider gas in the tank.
Oh yeah.
What are you looking at doing for the near future when it comes to your personal career? I do hear still that vigor. I know that you said 85 will probably be just about the same as 72, and I would have to attest to that. I mean, at least I'm voting for that just because I just turned 20 20 20. I say I'm 20 20 20. My third eye is clear too now.
Right. Yeah.
But so what?
Well,
Yes.
the thing that I would like to do is I want to find something substantial that I can do to build. And I'm not saying all the money that I used to make. No. I just want to live comfortable enough, and I want to have enough to help my kids with. And I want to have. I started the martial arts, not martial arts, the Christian Martial Arts Academy, and it's called the Way of the Master. And it's my Christian, my Christian thing that I'm doing, and I want to go through the churches and build it that way through the churches. And the way I'm doing it is it's not so much about what the physical part, but I want to make sure that they can learn scriptures, they have to remember scripture, and that's what's going to really send them to the next level, So it's, I still got my regular karate, people that just want to do that.
By the way, we lost the camera. I don't know if you realize that you're not on the camera no more, just in case.
Oh, let me see did I do something wrong? Yeah, where the heck did you go? Where did it go? Oh, I see it here.
Yeah, in the lower, there you go.
Oh,
He's back.
Okay,
yes.
Yep. So anyway, so I want to take this. I got about 3 churches right now that want to start this year, and with them, I want to go ahead and finish the books. Once I finish the books, then I want to go into movies. I want to make a movie of my life story.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Documentation.
Already got people lined up for that as well, and I'm just trying to get the finances for that as well. So, so those are the things that and if I get back, once I start feeling like I'm really making
progress
and stuff, then I can say, you know what? Now I can start training again, and get back out there and give the people what they want to see. They want to see the golden fist. There's a lot of people, they got young kids, and they go, all they can do is tell them, well, man, you should have known about the golden fist, blah blah blah. No, he's back out there fighting. Let's go see him.
So let me ask you the question. So what do you think about the UMAN OG's Fountain of Youth tour? Does that make sense?
Whoa, wait a minute. Let me X this. Okay, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So my question.
My phone is jacked up. I had to get it fixed, so I got to get it fixed.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying.
So my
Go ahead. Now, what'd you say now?
My question is, what do you think about the UMAN OG Fountain of Youth tour that I came up with last year that I'm doing this time? What do you think about that?
No, I'd love to do it. I really want to do it. My only thing right now is my finances is not where it should be, where I feel comfortable of doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get you. But how about I tell you this? We're gonna have a tournament in Florida too. I'm gonna have one in St. Augustine at the Fountain of Youth itself.
Okay.
How cool would that be?
That'd be great.
I remember you were psyched up. Anyway, so what I have to say is that I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you. I'm going to let you go because I know that you and our phones are probably dying right now. I'm going to go attend to my lady, who hopefully she's doing well because, like I said, she'll be getting sick. But James, my God, James Golden Fist Scisco, the legendary ongoing This guy's nonstop. I mean, he literally had about 5 different lives that he's juicing them all. And we could have talked about probably 10 more hours and not get everything covered. But I think that, again, you guys get an idea. There's not too many people that I look up to, especially when they're shorter than me. But James Scisco's one of them because.
I still have people shake my hand and give me a hug. I'm so used to giving people a solid hug and a pure handshake, and they go, "Oh my God, the handshake," and then you get the hug. Oh man, I feel like a bear just hugged me. I'm like, I mean, I don't try to do anything special. I just do the way I do it. And you're hard, man. You're not soft nowhere. I'm like, well, I just try to keep moving, man. Just try to keep moving. I take my 10-pound weights and I use them in all different ways and just try to keep moving. I do my walks early in the morning, get that out of the way. If I want to do a bike ride, I go do a bike ride, about 5 or 10 mile bike ride, come on back. I just got to keep moving. And then I train my people, and I think any instructor that is going to train someone or teach should not be a big belly guy in the front telling someone what to do when you can't do. I say if I'm going to continue to teach, I want to be able to show them that I can do anything that I tell them that they can do. Now, I'm not going to cut flips and all that stuff no more. If you decide that you want to do that, I'll bring in someone. I got people under me that can do that kind of stuff, and and that's what they for. That's what I use them for.
Wow. Well, if someone wants to contact you, I believe you're in the Tampa area of Florida presently, correct?
Right.
And they can find you on Facebook, I'm sure. Is that the best way for them to find you, James Scisco?
Yeah.
Anyway, brother, thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I love you. Hopefully we get a chance to do this again, and we'll continue the other, my God, and believe me, this is going to end up helping you because I'm going to turn around and use the information to help you with your autobiography itself, because I'm putting together what I would consider a media kit for the individuals who participate or will participate in the future for UMAN. So my job is to make sure that we're going to take a timeline map and I take this interview and you see what I do. I'm going to do some magic for you. Within the next few hours, I'm going to be sending you some stuff,
I know you can do it. I know you can do it. I'm excited.
All right, guys. God bless. Only thing I have to say when I say AB, man, you know what to say. AB.
See ya.
We out of here. Thank you very much. God bless.